Bore da, good morning. I'm Gemma. I'm Comms Manager here at Centre for Digital Public Services, and I have been working on the pre-application advice service project. And I'm delighted today to welcome Ed Can, Delivery Manager, and Rob Thomas. He's the Product Manager for this particular project. So thank you for joining me today, gentlemen. I'd like to hand over to you now so you can tell me a little bit more about what you do on the project, and we can go from there.
Hi, Gem. So Rob Thomas, Senior Product Manager at CDPS. I'm working with our team on the planning pre-application alpha phase. And essentially my role as Senior Product Manager is to help identify the problem areas that we need to help to fix. And if there's multiple kind of things that could be fixed, it's prioritizing those so that team have got something tangible to be able to take forward and work on. So when it comes to doing that, then it's articulating what the problems are with the product, and making sure that this is very clear with the stakeholders involved, with the team, exactly what we're trying to fix and why. And I guess then it's a case of working out what order do we go about creating things to fix these, and making sure that we're constantly reviewing that against what's expected of the project so that there's total alignment at all levels. I'll pass to Ed.
Thanks, Rob. And I'm Ed Can. I'm a delivery manager here at CDPS, again, working with the team on the pre-application advice service work for planning. And so my role is primarily running the team, and I've put air quotes on that one. It's very much a case of making sure the team have all the things they need to excel in what they do, and kind of organising and running some of the events, making sure we have our regular check-ins, and it's largely dealing with the people around the work that we're doing.
Cool. So what's the difference between product manager and delivery manager then? So there must be some crossover, but there must be some clear differences as well. I don't know who wants to take that question.
Yeah, well, I can kick us off on that. So I think, as I mentioned about defining the problems to be solved, I guess product management is focused on what it is exactly that we're trying to solve and why we're trying to solve it, the what and the why of it. And I guess, Ed, from your point of view, then it's very much it's the how and the when from me. It's how are we going to solve those problems, and planning it out and working on the when things are happening.
Yeah, it's very much like coordinating a multidisciplinary team as well, isn't it? So, we've heard from the user researchers and the service designers, and you work very closely with one another. And I know that you bring different people in at different times. So it's really interesting talking to you both about the differences in your roles. In terms of the pre-application advice service and working on that, what have been your highlights or what have been your challenges?
So I'd say personally, I'm astounded by how open the three partner local planning authorities have been to kind of let us in. We've sat with each of them for a full day at least in person, as well as multiple Teams calls where we're getting in touch with them every fortnight to check back in, present our progress to them, and to have them critique what we're doing. So it helps us to ensure that we're constantly developing a product that is going to meet their needs and is accurate. But also, we're able to really prioritize those problems in the right way then, because we've got them on board with us. So that's certainly a highlight. And it's not that it's been a challenge, but what could have been a challenge is making sure that the scope remains appropriate, because without really getting embedded with those teams and understanding how their services run, we may potentially end up delivering a product that doesn't quite meet their needs. So it could meet end users' needs, somebody who's actually trying to use the pre-application advice service, but it may not work for the people administering that service at the local level. So luckily that hasn't been a challenge, but it's because of that highlight where the openness and collaboration from our partners has been so engaging.
Lovely.
Yeah, and from my point of view, I would say one of the highlights is all the people that we've been working with, and that goes for our LPA partners, our internal squad as well, phenomenal group of people who are doing some fantastic work, but also in other areas, so where people we've spoken to within Welsh Government who've been so welcoming and helpful, trying to get us to fully understand this space, which is hugely complicated planning, and we're only looking at such a small part of it in this particular phase that it's very easy to see how that scope could have creeped, as Rob was talking about there, because there's so much there. But looking at it and working on just this small amount shows how much more we can do moving forwards. And that kind of leads on to the big challenge for me, which is trying to make sure that everything we do is flexible and scalable. We want to make sure that any work that's done can be used not only pan-Wales by all local planning authorities, but also that the lessons learned from that can be fed into bigger pieces of work, the next phase that we're hoping is coming down the pipeline, and also to just be used by those local planning authorities, not just in the pre-application advice service, but throughout their planning service.
Lovely. No, it's a really exciting time and a really exciting project to be working on. In terms of next steps now, obviously we're wrapping up this phase of work. I don't know whether you can tell me what you're going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks, and then potentially what's happening after that.
Yeah, so between now and the end of the project, essentially what we're doing is really refining the product itself. So the prototype that we've built, we're testing, and we're going through rounds of testing to make sure that each increment is improving it for the better. And at the same time then as ending up with our MVP being defined, we'll also have final recommendations and report and planning for a show and tell to be able to speak openly about what we've done, why we've done it, and what it looks like. So Ed, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think that's to cover it. That's the main focus now is kind of getting those deliverables together. Looking at that, we've done so much that I don't think we really expected to get quite so far down the route of the prototype that we've been working on as well, which we've been showing to our to the LPAs, and we just need to finish iterating over that and all of the work that we're doing, and then pulling it all together into this final report, that we're working on, so that we can present that not only to our strategic advisory group that we have set up, but also to the LPAs themselves and their digital teams, and look at getting some of these recommendations implemented in the near future.
Brilliant. So I think that concludes our lovely conversation about your roles within the planning project. In terms of people staying up to date, we have a sign-up form on our project page, which you can sign up for regular updates. You can also be the first to hear about the public show and tell if you do sign up. But yeah, thank you both for your time today. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where the project takes us. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr.